Dear friends, in this tutorial we are going to look into different ways of creating Pandas data frame. Now if you have watched my previous two tutorials, then you should have a basic understanding on Pandas framework, and also you should be familiar with data frame in general. So let's start a Jupyter notebook as usual. Now you can use PyCharm, Notepad++, whatever IDE you prefer, but I like Jupyter Notebook because it is great with data visualization. Here I'm going to click on new button to start a new notebook. Okay, now I already have a CSV file for weather data, so you can see that this is a weather data where you have days, temperature, and so on. Now the first way of creating a data frame is to directly read this CSV. Okay, so I'm going to import pandas as PD, and then what you can do is pd dot read CSV. Read CSV is a method that will read CSV into a data frame. So you can see the name of my CSV is weather underscore data, so it's weather underscore data dot CSV, and since it is in the same path as my Jupyter notebook, I'm just providing a file name. But let's say if it was in some other folder, then you will provide a full path name such as this. Okay, all right, so this is my first way of creating a data frame. When I run this, you can see it created it successfully. Okay, my second way is to create a data frame from an Excel file. Okay, so the same way that you can use read CSV, you can use read Excel to read an Excel file. So I have in a same location, I have this file called weatherdata.xlsx. So let me close my CSV and open this xlsx file. It pretty much looks same as CSV, but the format is xlsx and the sheet name is sheet 1. So I will provide full xlsx path, and then sheet name will be sheet 1. And when I print it, it creates data frame successfully. So this was the second way. Third way is to create a data frame using a Python dictionary. Okay, so here in this bracket you can specify a Python dictionary, and that dictionary needs to have the data needed for your data frame. Okay, so I have this little file where I have saved that dictionary, so I'm just going to copy paste to save time on recording. Okay, so as you can see that in my dictionary I have this different keys, and each of these keys represent the column in my data frame. So you can see day, temperature, wind speed, and event, and these are my row values. Okay, so now I need to pass this dictionary as an argument into this function, and when you run this, again my data frame is created successfully. So this was the third way. The fourth way of creating a data frame is to use a tuples list. So I'm just going to copy tuples list here. You can see that this is a list, and the list contains tuple. Each element in the list is a tuple. Okay, and this tuple is nothing but a row in your data frame. Okay, now when you create your data frame, one thing you need to do is you need to provide column names. Okay, so here my column is day, then the second guy is temperature, then you have wind speed, and then you have event. When you run this, once again, it created a data frame successfully. So this was a fourth way of creating a data frame using a list of tuples. And don't forget to mention the name of columns here. Okay. All right. The last way that we are going to cover is a list of dictionaries. So just let me just copy it from here. Okay. Now here, the difference between the first approach or this approach where I had a dictionary and each key contained values, row values, the difference here is that each element in the list represents one row along with its column specification. So you can see this is a list and each record here has column value. So let's now create pd.dataframe and supply this list as an argument, and you can see that it created this dictionary, this data frame as well. So these were a couple of ways of creating data frames. We covered like 5 such ways. There are more ways that you can create data frames. So if you Google Pandas IO, then it will take you to Pandas documentation where they specify you can basically read your data frame from different sources such as CSV, Excel, which we covered, but then you have all these other sources such as HTML, stats, SAS, pickle. So if you read through this documentation, you'll know that this reading information from various sources into data frame is made easy by these APIs. Okay. So that's all I had for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to look into reading and writing data from and to CSV and Excel files in the next tutorial. Okay. Until then, thanks for watching. And if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up.